Hare Krishna. I'm very fortunate to be giving today's class from Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Today we had the great fortune of going to Barsana and Nandgaon. I was along with Krishana Indranath, my mother, and Dr. Juhi Banawat. We went to make sure all the arrangements are right at Barsana, at Nandgaon for all the devotees who are coming tomorrow onwards. Very exciting, uh, and just feeling very, very happy, having darshan of the Supreme Lord's house and the palace of his beloved Srimati Radharani. So we'll continue from Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 43. Shri Krishna Krishna Sakha Vrishni Rishabhadi Drug Rajanya Vamsa Dahanana Pavarga Vedya Govinda Go Dvija Surarati Haravatara Yogeshwara Kilo Guru Bhagavan Namaste. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief among the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on the earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer my respectful obeisances. This is Kunti Devi glorifying Lord Krishna and offering her respects, her humble respects to the Supreme Lord. Very appropriate prayer for us to follow. Suta Vacha Prathettanam Kalapade Parinuta Kilodaya Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mohyan Iva Mayaya. Suta Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. See, this is Krishna's potency. Kunti Devi, in so many verses, glorified the Supreme Lord, defined him and established him as, the all that, the best of the best that he is. And Krishna's reciprocation is with a smile. It is described that when Krishna comes back after this, right, when he goes back to Kurukshetra, goes back to uh, Dwarka after this, he, same way, the wives of Krishna, the 16,108 wives, they look at Krishna, from their balconies. So Krishna has come back. And Krishna looks at them and smiles, and they feel completely fulfilled. Krishna's sons come and hug him, embrace him, and welcome him back to Dwarka. And they feel fully satisfied touching Krishna's body and embracing him. But even the prostitutes on the sides, Krishna didn't ignore them. With the glare of his, corner of his eye, Kataksha, he looks at the prostitutes and satisfies them. And they feel fully satisfied that Krishna glared at us, right? So, like that, Krishna has the ability to, with slightest bit of reciprocation, satisfy people's desires. When there's a beautiful poetry by Rupa Goswami where he's saying that Krishna, as he's killing the demons, he is smiling at the gopas, kind of showing, look how great I am, like a little bit of boastful nature. I'm a hero. And with the corner of his eye, he's looking at the gopis, again, very smilingly, but in a different kind of smile, which is conjugal love. So, Krishna, doing one act of killing a demon, can satisfy the demon because the demon wants to have, that kind of relationship with the Supreme Lord. Krishna is smiling and telling the Gopas, you don't worry. Here is your hero. I'm here to protect you. And he's telling the gopis, look at me, look at me. See how strong I am? Right? So this is Krishna. With one act, he can satisfy so many different people and so many different rasas at the same time. So in this case, Kunti Devi, who is Krishna's relative, materially speaking, if you look at it, but moreover a devotee, but giving the best possible, prayers. Krishna smiles with Kunti Devi, and the smile is described that this smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. What is Krishna's mystic power? He can be in the hearts of all his creations, trillions and trillions of creations, in billions and billions of universes. Krishna's super soul is in their heart. From his body pores, universes come out. Krishna can create, Krishna can annihilate, Krishna smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest, Sudarshan Chakra, four-armed form, so many things in Krishna's mystic power. And the smile is more enchanting than all of those mystic powers. Imagine that. What must Queen Kunti be feeling by seeing Krishna's enchanting smile? Radharani, just by looking at Krishna, she starts fainting. The smell of Vaijayantimala of Krishna's body, the just the in the moonlight falling on Krishna's dark bluish skin. The gopis just can't keep themselves intact. That is Krishna's charm. So when we hear Krishna's charming smile, it's not just some, you know, uh, okay, he's just another handsome dude who smiles nicely. This is Krishna we are speaking about. So this smile is incomparable to anything material. And that is what Krishna gifts Queen Kunti. Would you like to read, Nihal Mataji?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tabadamit Tabadam ita upamantram pravisha gajasayayam striyascha swapuram yasyan predna rajna nivarita. Thus accepting the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure by entering the place of Hastinapur, but upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhishthir, who implored him lovingly.
Thank you, Mataji. Thus, accepting the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure. So he didn't agree to Queen Kunti requesting him to stop and not go, right? He smiled, reciprocated with her, but then he is God. He is supremely independent. He doesn't have to listen to anyone. So he reciprocates, but he moves on, telling other ladies that, hey, hello, goodbye, I'm leaving. His departure of entering the place of Hastinapura, palace of Hastinapura. But upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhishthir, who implored him lovingly. Yudhishthir was like, please don't go, Krishna. Right? Now we'll hear how Yudhishthir stops Krishna. Mataji, please go ahead.
व्यासादेर ईश्वरोऽज्ञे कृष्णेन अद्भुतकर्मणां प्रबोधितो पितिर्हासेन व्युद्धत शुचार्पितम्. King Yudhishthira, who was much aggrieved, could not be convinced despite instruction by great sages headed by the Vyas and the Lord Krishna himself, the performer of superhuman feats, and despite all historical evidences.
So King Yudhishthir, who was much aggrieved that Krishna is leaving, won the battle, king of the universe, king of the whole planet, but then he is aggrieved because Krishna is leaving. That's the sign of a devotee. Devotee can have all the material things, but separation from Krishna, not acceptable, right? That's what we live for, is Krishna's love, Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's connection. So King Yudhishthir, who was much aggrieved, could not be convinced despite instructions by great sages headed by Vyasa and Lord Krishna himself. He couldn't be like pacified, like, no, 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 Krishna can't leave. The performing of human feats and despite all historic evidence. So that is love, no matter what, who says, It's like madness. No, no logic works. Aharaja dharma sutas chintayan suhridam vadam prakritena smana vipra sneha moha vasham gataha. King Yudhishthir, son of Dharma, overwhelmed by the death of his friends, was aggrieved, just like a common materialistic man. O sages, thus deluded by affection, he began to speak. Go ahead, Mataji.
अहो मे पश्चाताज्ञानं दृढीरूढ रदि दृढं दुरात्मनं पारक्यसेव देहस्य बहव्योमक्षो निर्हता. King Yudhishthir said, O my lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart, which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many, many phalanxes of men.
So this is his devotional nature. That, oh, I'm most sinful man that, have won this battle but killed so many people. Prabhupada is saying a solid flanks of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 109,650 infantry, and 65,000 cavalry is called one Akshahini. And many Akshahinis were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Yudhishthira, as the most pious king of the world, takes for himself the responsibility for killing such a huge number of living beings because the battle was fought to reinstate him on the throne. This body is all, after all, meant for others. While there is life in this body, it is meant for the service of others. And when it is dead, it is meant for to be eaten by dogs and jackals or maggots. He is sorry because of such temporary body, such a huge massacre was committed. Baladvija Surin. Sorry, go ahead, Mataji.
बालद्विज सृहन्मित्र पितृभ्रात गुरुद्रुः न मे स्म्यान्निर यान्मोक्षो यापि वर्षयुतायुते. I have killed many boys, brahmanas, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I lived millions of years, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. नैन्यो राजन् प्रजार्भर्तु धर्मयुद्धे वधोद्विषाम् इति मे न तु बोधाय कल्पते शासनं वचः. There is no sin for a king who kills for the right cause, who is engaged in maintaining his citizens, but this injunction is not applicable to me. स्त्रीणां मद्यतबन्धूनां द्रोहो यास विद्योस्थितं कर्मभिर्ग्रहे मद्यैर्नहन् कल्पो व्यपोहितुम्. I have killed many friends of women, and I have thus caused enmity of such an extent that it is not possible to undo it by material welfare work.
I've killed many friends of women, and have thus caused enmity to such an extent that it is not possible to undo it by material welfare work. Now, we all know that this is, he has fought a Dharma Yuddha supported by Krishna and everything else. But as a devotee, there's a sense of humility and he's feeling these feelings, uh, which is quite natural for a pious king, for somebody who is non-violent by nature, who is dharmic. It is a natural humility. Okay, next. Somebody wants to read? Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I?
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Yes, please. यथा पङ्केन पङ्कम्बः सुरायव सुरकृतं भूत हत्यं तथैवैकं नायज्ञैर्मर्स्तुम् अर्हति. Translation: as it is not possible to filter muddy water through mud or purify a wine-stained pot with the wine, it is not possible to counteract the killing of man by sacrificing animals. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he's referring to the Ashwamedh Yagyas or Gomedh Yagyas, in which a horse or a bull is sacrificed, were not, of course, for the purpose of killing the animal. Lord Chaitanya said that such animal sacrifices on the altar for Yagya were rejuvenated and a new life was given to them. It was just to prove the efficacy of the hymns of the Vedas. By recitation of the hymns of the Vedas in a proper way, certainly the performer gets relief from reactions of sins. But in case of such sacrifices, improperly done under inexpert management, surely one has to become responsible for animal sacrifice. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is no possibility of performing the yagyas perfectly for want of expert brahmanas who are able to conduct such yagyas. Maharaj Yudhishthir, therefore, gives a hint to performing sacrifices in the age of Kali. In the Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended in the performance of Harinam Yagya, inaugurated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But one should not indulge in animal killing and counteract it by performing the Harinam Yagya. Those who are devotees of the Lord never kill an animal for self interest. And as the Lord ordered Arjuna, they do not refrain from performing the duty of a Kshatriya. The whole purpose, therefore, is served when everything is done for the will of the Lord. This is possible only by the devotees. So we have to know what is what, right? Just because we are doing Harinam Sankirtan, we can't counteract that for the other sins that we commit. Of course, it helps, but that's not the purpose of it, right? So it's important that we, as devotees who understand the philosophy and the purpose behind things, use the right things for the right purposes. For example, uh, somebody who doesn't know can use the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for ghost busting, let's say, right? Okay. Yes, it can make the place auspicious. It can remove ghosts and goblins. Fine. But is that the purpose of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It can do a lot more than that. So it can actually bring Supreme Lord face to face with us. That's the power of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And when you have the Supreme Lord face to face, what is impossible, right? So only devotees know how to use, how to interact with different aspects of the dharmic principles with our materialistic activities. So in this case, you know, uh, Yudhishthir Maharaj feels that simply by animal sacrifice, him killing so many men can't be counteracted. Pradeep Prabhu, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, you said that many demons were killed by Krishna,
Yes.
uh, and you said that they want that kind of relationship with Krishna.
Yes.
That means they are also devotees, but they want that kind of relationship with Krishna.
Well, no, they're not devotees. They are demons. But that's what they want. When somebody is demoniac, they want Krishna. They are seeing Krishna as an enemy and they want to harm Krishna. They want to fight with Krishna. So that's what they get, fight. The gopis, they want Krishna to give them attention. That's what he's doing. The gopas, they want Krishna to be their leader. That's what they're getting. Krishna is telling them, look how heroic I am. So the demons, they want Krishna as an enemy and they want to fight with him. So they're getting a fight, a good fight, and eventually getting killed. That's what they want.
No, if Krishna wanted that demons to be killed, Krishna can do it in any way.
Yes, with
Any
a heart
devotee
attack.
of Krishna would kill it.
Yes.
But Krishna himself killing that demon, that means they
They're very
have
special.
some personal relationship with Krishna.
So, yes, there is always that layer. Like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha are actually the Dwarpalakas of Vaikuntha, great devotees who have been cursed to be demon. But in that particular pastime, we should not see them as devotees. We should see them as demon because they're acting to harm the Brahmanas, just like in Bangladesh. They're actively doing exactly what Hiranyakashipu did, stopping temple worship, doing cow killing, doing all kinds of things. Now the Bangladeshi government has said, not government, but I guess they're whatever they have, has said that any restaurant will have to serve beef, right? Even Hindus will have to serve beef. Even if they don't want, they can't just say no beef. Things like that. So this is what demons do. And that act should not be seen that, oh, they're Krishna's devotees, they're just. No, in that role, they are acting like demons and they are demoniac. And that's why Krishna kills them, right? Paritrana sadhunam vinashacha dushkritam. Dushkritams are vinash. So he is there to annihilate, to kill the demons. So we should not, yes, they are directly getting killed by Krishna means they're very, very special. In some past life, they must have done something great that they have the privilege of being killed by Krishna. You're absolutely right. But at the same time, in this particular role or Leela, we should not see them as devotees. In this Leela, they are acting as demons. Very, very great demon that they get to be killed by Krishna. In fact, if they've made it in Bhagavatam, that means they're very special. Tom, Dick, and Harry doesn't get into Bhagavatam. So yes, absolutely, you're right.
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you.
But they're not pretending. They're not devotees or pretending to be enemies. They are actually in that mood of being demons. So we should understand, just like Krishna is in the mood of being a lover or whatever else, he's not acting as God. He's acting as whoever he's with, he's acting accordingly, right? In most genuine form. When Krishna is crying from Mother Yashoda's stick, looking at her stick, he is genuinely fearful. Now, fear personified can't understand how Krishna can be fearful of anything. But Krishna is genuinely fearful of Mother Yashoda's stick. And he's crying out of genuine fear. So Krishna is doing his pastime not as an actor. I'm a god and I'm going to just act. He is genuine, and those devotees who are demons because of some curse or something, they are also genuinely acting very, very sincerely, and Krishna likes a good fight. So if somebody were to just pretend to be a fight and lose to Krishna, Krishna would not enjoy it. Somebody gives a good fight, Krishna's, that sense of not chivalry. What would I call it? Heroism, fully comes out when there's a good fight and he wins. So yes, they are special, but it is also true that they are demons in this particular pastime.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I mean, for example, just to talk about Krishna's reciprocation, Bhishma Dev, his rasa with Krishna is that of fighting, right? They absolutely love each other. Vishnu is a great devotee of Krishna. But when Krishna throws arrows at Bhishma Dev, or Bhishma throws arrows at Krishna, both love it. It is described that when Bhishma is throwing arrows at Krishna, Krishna is bleeding, but to Krishna it feels like flowers. Because that's their rasa. Just like Radharani and Krishna, their rasa is that of a boyfriend-girlfriend, Madhurya rasa. Between Bhishma and Krishna, their rasa is that of fighting and war. And that's how they enjoy each other's company. All right. So we are moving on to chapter 9 of Canto. What does it answer your question, Prabhu? Pradeep
Yes,
Prabhu?
understood, Prabhuji. Yes,
Okay.
understood. But
But
if demons are, if we think demons as devotee, but you clarified that
uh,
we should not follow that demonic mentality. We should oppose that demonic mentality.
correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu.
Is there a question somewhere hidden in there?
Not yet.
Okay. All
If
right.
there will be, I will ask.
Okay. So this chapter is the passing away of Bhishma Dev in the presence of Lord Krishna. So Bhishma Dev, if you remember, was lying on the bed of arrows made by Arjuna. And because he had Ichha Mrityu, Vardhan, he could die at his own time. So he wanted to wait and see what happens on the battle of Kurukshetra. Who wins? What happens? So now that Yudhishthira has won and he has, become the emperor of the whole world, Bhishma Dev is finally satisfied that planet Earth is in good hands. And so he is ready to pass away, but he made a special request that he wants to be in the presence of Lord Krishna because he knows what happens when you leave your body in the presence of Lord Krishna. You go to his abode. Just like Haridas Thakur. When Haridas Thakur realized Lord Chaitanya is going to leave the planet, he told Lord Chaitanya, I'm sorry, I can't bear a moment of you not being there on this planet. So before you leave, allow me to leave and allow me to look at your moon-like face with your feet on my chest as I leave my body. Lord Chaitanya said, very well. So the bank of Puri Beach, right? Not the bank, on the Puri Beach, right? Where Haridas Thakur's Samadhi is, there Lord Chaitanya put his lotus feet on the chest of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur smilingly looking at Lord Chaitanya's face, and thus he left his body. And Lord Chaitanya, although Haridas Thakur was from a Muslim family, Lord Chaitanya, he was the Namacharya. Lord Chaitanya took his body and danced in Harinam Sankirtan and finally did all the funeral, that is done to a Vaishnava. It's generally not cremation, but it is putting the body in samadhi, right? In a sitting posture, in a yoga posture. So Lord Chaitanya personally did that for Haridas Thakur, his last rites. And he blessed that whoever bathes in this ocean, in Puri ocean, will get Krishna Prema because Haridas Thakur is buried here. So this is what great devotees desire, that to be leaving their body in the presence of the Lord. And sometimes the Lord very kindly permits it. So in Bhishma Dev's case, he permits to allow Bhishma Dev to see Lord Shri Govinda, as he's leaving his body. So this chapter is about that. Canto
Suta
what?
Uvacha.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Suta Uvacha iti bhita prajar sarvadharma vivitsaya tato vinashana pragad yatra dreva vato patat. Sutta Goswami said, being afraid of having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaja Yudhishthira went to the scene of the massacre. There Brahmadev was lying on the there Bhishmadeva was lying on the bed of arrows, about to pass away.
So being afraid of for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield, Maharaj Yudhishthira went to scene of the massacre where Bhishma Deva was lying down. Because from a childhood, they have been mentored by Bhishma Dev. It's like the loving grandfather. Sometimes parents can be a little strict, but grandparents are very loving and endearing. So here Yudhishthira is feeling all these emotions of having killed so many people. So he runs to Bhishma Deva, who's lying on a bed of arrows. Okay, next.
तदा ते भ्रातर् सर्वे सदश्वे सर्वभूषिते अन्वगच्छन् रथे विप्रा व्यासधौम्यादयस्तथा. At that time, all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariot drawn by first-class horses decorated with the gold ornaments. With them with them were Vyasdeva and rishis like Dhaumya, the learned priest of Pandavas and others.
Okay, next.
भगवानपि वीर्पीर्षे रथेन स धनञ्जयः स तैर्व्यरोचत नृप कुबेर इव गुह्यके. O sage amongst the Brahmanas, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus, King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic like Kuvera surrounded by his companion, the Guhakyas.
So, you know, lo- amongst the Brahmanas, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus, King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic, like Kuvera, surrounded by his companions. So, when you are a samrat, when you are an emperor, you have your entourage. So, guess what? Not only he comes, but he comes with his brothers, and not only that, he has Lord Shri Krishna, on the chariot with Brahmanas and everyone. So, it's kind of like a VIP with his entourage of bodyguards and great VIPs along with them. So that's what it is. At the most VIP, Sri Krishna is personally present. Okay, next.
दृष्ट्वा निपतितं भूमौ दिव्यश्च्युतमिवामरं प्रणेमो पाण्डवा भीष्मं सानुगा सहचक्रिणा. Seeing him, Bhishma, lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava, King Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him.
Okay. Next verse.
तत्र ब्रह्मार्षय सर्वे देवर्षयश्च सत्तम राजर्षयश्च तत्रासन् दृष्टं भरतपुङ्गवम्. Just to see the chief of the descendants of the king Bharat, Bhishma, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis among the demigod, brahmanas and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there.
So imagine this. This is setting the stage for a great Mahajan passing away. There are 12 Mahajanas. Bhishma is one of them. Yamaraj is one of them. So there are these great personalities, they're called Mahajanas. So as Bhishma Dev is leaving his body and Lord Krishna is personally present, there is this anticipation to watch what happens here, what conversations take place, what great nuggets of wisdom are going to come out of this. So great rishis from all over the universe, great souls have come. Just like when a great king passes away or a great politician passes away, all these big politicians, big poets and movie stars come. So same way, this is the whole universe. From all over the universe, souls are coming to witness the passing away of this great personality named Bhishma in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay?
पर्वतो नारदो दौम्यो भगवान् बादरायणः बृहदश्वो भरद्वाजः सशिशो रेणुकासुत वसिष्ठ इन्द्रप्रमदस्थितो कृत्समदोषितं कक्षिवान् गौतमोत्रिश्च कौशिको सुदर्शन. All the sages like Parvata Muni, Narada, Dhaumya, Vyasa, the incarnation of God, Brahatsva, Bharadwaja, and the Parshurama and the disciples Vashishta, Indra Pramada, Trita, Krasmada, Asita, Kakshivan, Gautama, Atri, Kaushika, and Sudarshana were present.
These names might not mean much, but just understand that when we say sages like Narad Muni, we are talking about the best and the brightest stalwarts in the entire universe, including some of them being incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Vyasa and Parashurama. This is pretty a VIP, congregation. This is a success of Bhishma Dev's life. A person who has kept up dharma, who have taken a vow of celibacy and maintained it, who has always, except for the Draupadi case, he never faltered from being a pious, God conscious, yet a brilliant legend. When he is passing, when a great person passes away, who comes to their last moments defined a lot about their legacy, and that is what we see here of Bhishma Dev. Okay, this is the last verse we will read today. Mataji.
मुनयो ब्राह्मण ब्रह्मरातादयो मला शिष्येरुपेता आजन्मु कश्यप अग्निरसा आद्यय. And many others like Sukdev Goswami and other purified souls, Kashyapa and Angirasa and others, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived there.
Imagine that. Huh. All right, so we will end it here. We're setting the stage for Bhishma Dev and Krishna's conversation. And Bhishma was speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj as well. It's a very, very enlivening conversation. Lot of learning points where Bhishma Dev will tell Yudhishthira Maharaj how to be a good leader, how to be a good king, how to deal with certain situations. His last instructions to his dear, dear Pandavas, the leader of the Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? So this is something we all can very practically apply in our lives, Bhishma Dev's teachings, especially those of us, all of us are here leaders in some capacity or other. So this is going to be a very ecstatic read. So hopefully next Friday, let me see, next Friday, will I be back? I think so. Yeah, I'll be back next Friday. So next Friday, we will continue reading from text 8. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu.